Hello everyone, so I wanted to talk about Praey for the Gods because I absolutely love Shadow of the Colossus, and this game is basically a spiritual successor to that game. This isn't a Praey for the Gods versus Shadow of the Colossus video. I will make comparisons, of course, but like how could I not? But I'm not here to pit them against each other. So with that being said, I'll start with the open world. So I haven't searched and found every little thing in Praey for the Gods, but I did do quite a bit of exploring. Exploration isn't exactly mandatory to beat the game, but I'd say it's pretty close to being mandatory. Why do I say that? Well, the most important thing in this game, pretty much, in my opinion, is these little golden statues. If you get 3 of them, you can increase your health or stamina, but you can only choose one or the other. Every 3 statues you get, you can choose one upgrade, and they're pretty hefty upgrades, and I'd say like 9 times out of 10, you're going to want to upgrade your stamina and not your health. Some of these bosses are a huge pain in the ass, possibly even impossible if you don't have enough stamina. So I'd say upgrade your stamina a few times first before you even think about upgrading your health. I had a lot of trouble on the first few bosses because your stamina in the beginning is just pitiful. Specifically the second boss for me was fucking infuriating because my dumbass did not start exploring the map until like the 3rd boss, so I had terrible stats and I wasn't eating or sleeping. So let's get into that, the survival mechanics. So this game, unlike Shadow of the Colossus, doubles as a survival game. There's 3 temporary stats, I guess you could call them, and that's hunger, exhaustion, and cold resistance. The more full you are, the faster your stamina regenerates. The more rested you are, the sooner your stamina will start to regenerate. And the more warm you are, the more accurately you can aim the bow. These stats are super important. Do not do what I did and fight these bosses empty, exhausted, and cold. It's a big mistake. I personally actually really don't like survival games. I find the constant need to scour for food and shit to be really tedious. It just feels like a chore to me. But I will say that this game does it pretty well if you play on the normal difficulty. Actually, there's 2 difficulty settings. There's the normal difficulty of the game, where you take more damage and whatnot, and then there's the survival difficulty, which can make the survival mechanics from super harsh to non-existent. I played on the middle survival difficulty on normal, and it felt just right. Like, it didn't feel like a chore. So that's something this game does that's completely unique compared to Shadow of the Colossus. Let's talk about performance and visuals. So I played on PS5. The game runs on Unity, and the game looks and runs pretty damn good, especially for a team of 3 people, if you didn't know. I think it's pretty impressive. I can't speak for PC, but the only time I had performance issues was on the second boss, which was of course the boss I struggled on the most. This boss is in water, and for some reason looking at the water while you're swimming in it will just tank your frames. I'm not sure why. And speaking of water bosses, I would have liked to have seen a actual underwater boss in this game, like the one from Shadow of the Colossus, but who knows, maybe it was like due to technical limitations or something. As I said, they're a team of 3 people, so what they've done is impressive as is, but that would have been cool. I pretty much only have one complaint about this game, and it's a pretty big one to be honest, and that's that the controls can be extremely unresponsive. Like, I can't even count the amount of times I wanted to grab something or let go of something or leap off of a certain surface I was climbing on, and she simply would not do it. And this gets really infuriating. So you'll fall all the way back down to ground level because your stupid ass character decided not to grab something you jumped toward, or you just couldn't jump at all for some reason, so you just run out of stamina. And there's also a small chance that your character will, despite having plenty of stamina, just fall off. Like, just for no apparent reason. So if the boss is shaking, you just have to pray you don't fall off. The good thing is, and this is another thing that's unique to Praey for the Gods, if you fall off the boss, it's not the end of the world, because there's a grapple hook. If you fall off the boss, there is a chance for you to shoot your grapple hook onto the boss and get back on. You can't grapple anywhere you want, it has to be a specific spot, but this is a fantastic addition to the game that Shadow of the Colossus didn't even have. The weapons and grapple hooks can break though, unless you're playing on story mode, but it's not really a huge deal. They take a while to break and you can repair them anyway. Another thing, this is a small thing I didn't like about this game, but these annoying ass ghost enemies, holy shit. These things will chase you to the ends of the earth, to the point where you would think you're playing a Souls game. And the thing is, they die in 1 arrow, so it's like, oh, they're not that hard. But the bow is so inaccurate, and they move so much that you can't really hit them. And I swear that 90% of the enemies on the map, not counting the animals and wildlife, are these ghost enemies. But yeah, those are the pros and cons. Overall, I think it was a great game. Better than Shadow of the Colossus? Absolutely not, but that's okay. I don't think anyone was expecting it to be better, especially with how small this team was. I wish there were more types of games like this, but there's pretty much only 2 in existence, that being this and Shadow of the Colossus. But I will bring this to your attention that there is another Colossus fighting game. That sounds so stupid, but I don't know what else to call these games. It's called Beyond the Forbidden Lands. And if you didn't know, Shadow of the Colossus had quite a few bosses cut from the game, and this game is aiming to restore the bosses that were cut and make them into fights that we never got. It's a really cool project, and I hope they do it right. It's another small team, so give them time, but I don't think enough people know about this, considering they have almost no followers or subscribers. So, but yeah, that's about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.